Hello, I'm Kayla Sprague and welcome to All Israel Debates, where we invite you in on an internal conversation that's happening within Israeli society. Here's the big question up for debate today. Is Kamala Harris good for Israel? There are a variety of opinions that I'll share with you today. The political landscape in Israel is diverse, and opinions about the US Vice President Kamala Harris vary widely across the political spectrum. From the Israeli right to the left, perspectives on her policies, potential future presidency, they all reflect the broader debates about US-Israel relations, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and regional security at large. Let's start with the right-wing perspectives. The Israeli right, including members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's administration, have expressed significant criticism of Kamala Harris, particularly regarding her stance on the Gaza conflict. For instance, her call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza has been met with strong opposition. Itamar Ben-Gvir, Israel's far-right national security minister, criticized Harris's comments, suggesting that they could undermine efforts to secure and release the hostages held by Hamas and portray a division between the US and Israel. On top of that, many on the Israeli political right are worried that since the Democratic Party has shifted too far towards the progressive and pro-Palestinian left, Harris would lack the political will and ability to stand against her base on these issues. A prominent opinion piece in the Jerusalem Post argued that Harris's understanding of Middle Eastern politics is limited, and her calls for a ceasefire could be seen as a weakness by groups like Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. The article emphasized the importance of unity between the US and Israel to secure the hostages' release and prevent further conflict. On the other side, let's look at left-wing perspectives. On the Israeli left, Harris is generally viewed more favorably. Many are encouraged by the fact that her husband is Jewish. They also view the fact that Harris has expressed deep concern about the humanitarian conditions in Gaza as hopeful, while reaffirming her strong support for Israel's security. She also hosted a White House event featuring Screams Before Silence, a documentary on Hamas's sexual violence against Israeli women on October 7th. This dual approach has been seen positively by some left-leaning Israelis who appreciate her efforts to address both security and humanitarian issues at the same time. They see her as a potential leader that could bring a fresh perspective to US-Israel relations and support a more balanced approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They also often point out that even Trump has called for a ceasefire, suggesting that this issue transcends traditional party lines. Now, let's take a look at the middle, those holding a centrist or more governmental view. From a more centrist perspective, there are mixed feelings about Kamala Harris. While some appreciate her commitment to Israel's security, others are concerned about her criticism of Israel's military actions. During a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu, Harris reiterated her support for Israel's right to defend herself, but also expressed concerns for civilian casualties in Gaza and the current humanitarian crisis. Journalist Ben Caspit, for example, reminded Harris's critics that Donald Trump expressed similar views, supporting a ceasefire as well. This more balanced approach has drawn both praise and criticism. On one hand, it reflects a nuanced understanding of the conflict, acknowledging the complexities and the need for a humanitarian perspective. On the other hand, some Israeli officials worry that such statements might embolden adversaries and complicate negotiations. It's worth noting that the centrists and those on the left often remind people that former President Trump has also called for a ceasefire, which adds an interesting dynamic to the debate. To wrap things up, Kamala Harris's potential future presidency and her current role as vice president elicit a wide range of opinions in Israel, as you can see. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and opinions will likely continue to evolve as the situation develops. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts? Is Kamala Harris good for Israel? We would love to hear your perspective in the comments below. Thank you for watching All Israel Debates. I'm Kayla Sprague, and for more Israel-related content, please subscribe to this channel and visit us at allisrael.com.